you. Kenya coming together. It's an economic partnership agreement that is meant to make a difference in the lives of many. So welcome, welcome, welcome. So very quickly, even if you're joining us online, let's go to the question on what are your expectations? What are your expectations? We may give a couple of you a chance to speak to us, but just from your phone. Let's move on to the question, what are your expectations? What are your expectations? Post that. We want to celebrate. Even as we wait for His Excellency the President to arrive, we want to be in the spirit of collaboration. Mr. Thomas is here. Thank you so much. Celebrate you. What are your expectations? Type it down, type it down, type it down. Olivia, type it down, type it down, type it down. Networking, lots, oh, I love that word. Networking. Networking, 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 networking. Let's look at that. Fine. Networking meeting, SOS founder and development organization for my foundation. Who is that? You posted that. Munira. Who is the SOS founder? Where is the SOS founder? Somebody from SOS? Just put up your hand. SOS? SOS. Munira, you're next to them. Already connect. So during the breaks, make sure you engage. It's very important. It's the power of strategic partnerships. Okay. Let's look at some of those comments coming in. More comments on Menti? Okay. Let's have the comments on Menti. Ah, fantastic. Strengthen EU-Kenya business partnerships and the economic partnership agreement. Create a business opportunity and create a good bond between Poland and Kenya. From Poland, let's see you. From Poland. A big round of applause to Poland. Fantastic. So already that link, investment linkages, economical and development growth, trade insight, an opportunity to grow business for mutual benefit, digitizing export process of herbs, thus get real-time feedback. Okay. Green, smart, inclusive investments, lots of networking, partnerships and collaboration, request for funding, grants. Okay, let's move on, let's move on. Networking, new areas of partnership for EU and Kenya partnerships, networking, collaborations and partnerships to network and get to hear about available business opportunities, discussions on opportunities and challenges, find solutions of overcoming digital trade barriers, making connections with potential partners from Denmark. Mr. Peter is there from Denmark, so there you go. Fantastic. That can help us scale our waste management business, strengthening links between Ireland and Kenya for mutual growth and prosperity. Ambassador is here. A big round of applause to the Ambassador Ireland. She's here. Thank you so much. Strategic partnerships and advanced digitization discussions with the industry players and policy makers. Ladies and gentlemen, we're here to engage. Talking about digitalizing trade. I wonder if I was to type your name, search on Google your name, the name of the organization, what would I find? For the next 3 minutes, I hope you have your phones. For the next 3 minutes, turn to the person next to you. Ask them their name. Once you get their full names, go to Google and search their names. And see what you find about them. And see what you find about them. Get to know their name, then you search it. We want to find out, when we're talking about digitalizing trade, we all have to be online. Did you find out his name? Then search on your phone, just get your phone, search his name. Yeah, you can search it. Then find out. Find out. Find out. Please do it. Please do it. We want to find out people who are here, but Google doesn't know they exist. Did you find anything? Get their name, read something, and it's a discovery. Let's hear from here. So who are you searching?
I'm searching Alan Sophia Simwe from Uganda, I believe. And what pops up is Trademark Africa.
Is that true? Is that true, Trademark Africa?
Yes.
Okay.
Very true.
All right, what's your name, sir?
My name is Munyindiga.
Muli.
Yes.
A big round of applause to Muli. Muli is doing the homework. Well done, fantastic. So now you can read more about her. You can see areas of engagement. So I'm coming to you as well. Get the person seated next to you, get their name and search. What did you find? You searched her? Her name? Yeah, go ahead. What's her name?
So I'm sitting next to Susan Wahoo.
Susan.
Susan Wahoo, I've managed to search her, and what I found is a person who's very passionate about road safety. So very exciting to have her in this forum.
Passionate about road safety, is that true? Okay.
Yes.
What about her?
I'm seated next to Sarah Benhamo, and when I searched, I saw she is a very passionate woman when it comes to fish exports.
Fish exports. Sarah, during the breaks, if you're interested in fish farming and all that, Sarah, please stand so that we can see. Please stand. This is part of the economic partnership we're talking about. Okay, so just tell them a bit about what you do.
Good morning, everyone. I hope everybody's having a good time. My name is Sarah. I'm here representing Victory Farms. We're in the aquaculture space, and we're here to explore opportunities of building bridges between the Kenyan market and the EU market. Fresh Kenyan tilapia from Lake Victoria.
Wow.
I am the person to talk to. I'm keen on engaging with so many of you today, and I look forward to that.
Wow, see that? See that? A big round of applause to Sarah. Well done. Who else? You've searched. It's okay. This is, so whom have you searched? The name, and what did you find? Go ahead. Did you search hers? But did you search? What did you find out? It's okay even if you know her, it's all right. Just what did you find out on Google? Find out, yeah.
So my name is Anne Biruru.
Anne?
I searched Lillian Mwai, and I found out she's an entrepreneur. And she is a country director for Trademark Africa.
Country director?
Yes.
Okay. Anne, talk to us a bit about Trademark Africa.
I'm Lillian.
Maybe, if you don't mind, you could stand.
Yes.
We just want to see you. Fantastic. Thank you so much, Anne.
Lillian.
Uh-huh.
She's Anne.
Oh, Lillian.
Thank you. So good morning, everyone. My name is Lillian from Trademark Africa. I'm the country director of Kenya. And what I can say about Trademark is that we're an aid for trade organization that has been working in Africa for the last 15 years. We are now in 14 countries. And we are a trade catalyst organization that seeks to ensure that Africa is able to increase its exports and to be able to contribute to global trade. We use more of an ecosystem thinking approach to see how we are able to provide solutions in policy, working with SMEs, being able to enable the environment, working with governments as well, regional economic communities. So we are glad to be here, and we're looking forward to networking and meeting other like-minded organizations, and also to spreading the word about our great work. So we're looking for partnership as well.
Wow.
Thank you.
Big round of applause to Lillian. Thank you so much. Ecosystem thinking approach. I love that. Who else? What did you find out? Ah, fantastic. What did you find out? If you don't mind, you could kindly stand so that we can see you.
Good morning. This is Phoebe Obara. I'm an advocate of the High Court of Kenya. I searched Kim Barry. He's an experienced accountant with over 15 years of experience.
Wow.
In accounting, taxation, and compliance.
Barry.
Financial compliance, yes.
Barry. Please confirm the information we've just heard. A big round of applause to her. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
You can go ahead and sit down. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you. Yes, that is correct. I'm an accountant.
What kind of partnership are you looking for here?
Basically, to provide support, accounting support to other companies that are going to trade in Kenya, or to NGOs as well, who need some accounting help, taxation help. Yeah, that's right.
All right. Thank you so much. A big round of applause to Barry. Thank you so much. In a moment, we'll be hearing a bit of that special sound from Kenya. They're ready, and we celebrate you. Mr. Clinton is smiling. I know, yes, it's going to be big. It's going to be great. Thank you so much. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Presidential Escort Unit Band. So we want to get a feel, that Kenyan feel. All right? Over to you, the Presidential Escort Unit Band. Ezekiel, thank you so much. Very well. Wow. Big round of applause. Well done. That's a welcoming tune there. Hakuna Matata. Turn to the person seated next to you and tell them, Hakuna Matata. No worries. Hakuna Matata. Dr. Jas, good to see you. I'm here in front of you. I'm here. Good to see you again. Very well. Salama kabisa. Good to see you. Hey. Well done. Kenya Association of Manufacturers, Asante Sana, we celebrate you. Let's look at the expectations once again via Menti. If we can have Menti once again, just to celebrate. Aha. So we're asking the question, what are your expectations? What are your expectations? What are your expectations? Yeah. Let's go down. Let's go down. Thank you so much. How do we create the linkages? Okay. Okay. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hello. Long time. Long time. Thank you so much. So distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, this is to notify you that His Excellency the President of the Republic of this beautiful land, Kenya, is already here. So just so that we create that welcoming atmosphere, I'd kindly request, especially during the opening ceremony, since you have your phones, just put them on a silent mode. We'll appreciate that. Secondly, I'd kindly request, once His Excellency comes in, we'll kindly request that we remain seated and minimize any kind of movement as much as possible in and out of this particular hall. We have one entry and exit for now, and that is at the very back. So I'd kindly request that we adhere to that. The washrooms are on the ground floor. So thank you so much. So another quick announcement here, ladies and gentlemen, then we continue on. Karibu sana.
So thank you so much, our able MC, the royal voice, Johnson Mwakazi. My name is Mike Gitone from the Office of the President. As Mwakazi has alluded earlier, already we have received our principal guest is with us. Any moment from now, he will be joining us. Just to keep you abreast, when His Excellency joins the auditorium, we will be upstanding. We also welcome him with a lot of applause. It is our tradition and norm. The National Police, Kenya Police Band Presidential Escort Unit on standby on my right will lead us with the Kenyan National Anthem and the EU Anthem at the start. And at the end, the band will also lead us in the EU Anthem and the Kenyan National Anthem. In the meantime, I would just request all of us to adhere to a few norms. Let us manage our phones. Let us manage our phones. Let us minimize movements now that the principal guest will join us in a moment from now. But I'll request the band, through the courtesy of the Director of Music, the Assistant Inspector General of Police, Wambura, to give us some music. Maybe you can give us Heal the World. If you allow me, I can also request for Guantanamera, the band.
Wow, the Presidential Escort Unit Band. Over to you.
Thank you, Mokazi, for calling for applause. That is very important. Let's appreciate our band once again with a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much. That is our first song, Heal the World. They're also going to give us a second song, Guantanamera. Band. A more heartier clap for our Presidential Escort Unit Band. Ladies and gentlemen in the house, the song Guantanamera. It is indeed a good morning that we all take cognizance and appreciate the presence of each and every one of us who've joined us today in this very global function, digital solutions for export standards. We do not take it for granted that you've decided to host it in our Republic of Kenya, not only the first time, but also even the last year I was a witness. And today we are also here to raise our standards on exports, and we don't take it for granted. We thank you, and we say karibu tena. The band will give us two more sets of interlude, the first one being the Grand March, and then because of the solidarity now between EU and Kenya, will do the Kenyan flag. To start with, the Grand March band. And now the Kenyan flag. Well choreographed piece of that choreographed song of the Kenyan flag. It is conspicuous that our flag has distinct colors. You'll see the black, you'll see the white, the red, and also the green. If time allows, I'll let you know why those colors. Let's appreciate our Kenyan flag, the Kenyan flag. The band is kind enough to keep us waiting for our principal guest, who will join us in a moment from now. Now they're going to give us two more songs. The first song will be El Abanika, and then the second song, Count Your Blessings. The band.
All rise. His Excellency the President. Let us all remain standing as we will start with two anthems, starting with the Kenyan National Anthem, followed by the European Union, the EU anthem. If we can kindly remain standing, the anthems. With your permission, Your Excellency, may I request that we take our seats, please? Your Excellency, Dr. William Samoei Ruto, President and Commander-in-Chief of the Kenya Defense Forces, Maroš Šefčovič, European Commissioner, Trade and Economic Security, Honorable Lee Kinyanjui, Cabinet Secretary, Ministry of Investment, Trade and Industry, Your Excellency Henrietta Genger, Ambassador of the European Union to Kenya, Mr. Thomas Östros, Vice President, European Investment Bank, Principal Secretaries present, led by Honorable Regina Akoth-Ombam, Principal Secretary for Trade, Your Excellency, Ambassadors present, Captains of the Industry, distinguished guests. Your Excellency, sir, with your permission, allow me to now invite the Cabinet Secretary, Ministry of Trade, Investment and Industry, Honorable Lee Kinyanjui, to run the program from here and give his comments before he eventually invites you. Why don't we put our hands together as we invite the Cabinet Secretary to come and run the program from here. Welcome, sir.
Thank you very much. Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya, Dr. William Samoei Ruto, our guest commissioner from the European Union, together with your delegation. Allow me to take this opportunity first to thank you for making time, Your Excellency, to grace this occasion. The European Union is a very important trading partner with Kenya, and they have remained dependable and committed to all the agreements that we have made. Your Excellency, before I make my comments, allow me to take this opportunity to invite the European Union Ambassador to Kenya, Her Excellency Henrietta, to come and make her brief remarks. Welcome.
Your Excellency, President William Samoei Ruto, Honorable Maroš Šefčovič, European Commissioner for Trade, Honorable Lee Kinyanjui, Cabinet Secretary for Investment, Trade and Industry, Vice President of the European Investment Bank, Mr. Thomas Östros, distinguished PSs, ambassadors, colleagues, representatives of the private sector, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I'm very delighted to welcome you to the second edition of the EU-Kenya Business Forum, and allow me to express my very sincere gratitude to you, dear Mr. President, for making time despite an extremely busy schedule today. This is showing your steadfast commitment to EU-Kenya relations and to advancing our joint economic and digital transformation journey. And your presence here today is testimony for Kenya's vision to be at the forefront of innovation and sustainable trade in Africa. Today we gather at a pivotal moment since our last forum in 2023. The EU-Kenya Economic Partnership Agreement has entered into force, marking a very significant milestone in our growing and deepening partnership. The EU continues to be Kenya's first trade partner in exports, and today's forum is a key opportunity to explore how we can fully harness its potential, creating jobs and growth in both Kenya and the EU. We are also looking forward to the signing of the double taxation agreement between Belgium and Kenya in the near future. The theme of this year's forum, Digitalising Trade, speaks to our shared ambition to use digital technologies as drivers of inclusive growth, sustainable trade, and stronger connectivity. From e-commerce to blockchain, from artificial intelligence to secure digital payments, these innovations are reshaping how we do business, and they offer enormous potential to deepen our economic ties. In line with the EU's Global Gateway strategy, the European Union remains committed to investing in quality infrastructure and connectivity, both physical and digital. Kenya is a key partner, and we are proud to support Kenya's emergence as a regional digital hub and innovation leader. This business forum is not just about dialogue, it's about action. And over the next 2 days, participants will connect with decision makers, explore concrete business opportunities, engage in B2B meetings, and discover innovative solutions to facilitate trade and investment. So I encourage all of you to take advantage of this rich program. We also have a special treat today as we launch the European Chamber of Commerce in Kenya, called EuroCham Kenya, which is a new platform to support and amplify European private sector engagement in this vibrant market. Finally, I wish to thank all our partners for making this forum possible. It is through collaboration, trust, and shared purpose that we can unlock new opportunities for our citizens and our economies. Let us seize this moment together to build a digitally connected, sustainable, and prosperous future for both Kenya and the European Union. Asanteni sana. Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed, the European Union Ambassador to Kenya, Her Excellency Henrietta Geiger. Allow me, Your Excellency, at this point to invite the Vice President of the European Investment Bank, Mr. Thomas Östros, to make his comments. Welcome.
Thank you and good morning. His Excellency President William Ruto, always an honor to meet you. European Commissioner for Trade, Maroš Šefčovič, an honor. Honorable Cabinet Secretaries of various ministries in Kenya, European Union Ambassador to Kenya, Henrietta Geiger, Team Europe ambassadors present here today, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. It is a great honor to be here today for the second EU-Kenya Business Forum, after successful hosting the first one back in 2023. And the theme of this year, as was mentioned, is digitalizing trade. It is widely known that trade is improved by investing in physical integration, such as cross-border energy, transport, connective infrastructure, and also strengthening political cooperation, harmonizing custom rules and procedures. Additionally, we need to boost the private sector to enhance the manufacturing and services sectors. And one of the best ways is to support Kenya's vibrant SME sector, which drives most of the economy. And on this point, I'm very glad that a little while from now, on this very stage, we shall announce the signing of a financing agreement that will support Kenya's SMEs by injecting much-needed capital thanks to the EIB's great partnership with Family Bank of Kenya. And it will mobilize a combined 100 million euros worth of financing towards SMEs and mid-caps active in trade and agriculture sector, with a particular focus on youth and gender investment. But even better is support for the digital revolution, which is a particular enabler of enhanced trade. The growing trade across the continent is driving the demand for enhanced digitization of all processes across the trade value chain. The digital revolution requires heavy investments in physical infrastructure, such as electricity, internet access, and telecommunication networks, as well as investing in digital education and skills training. The European Investment Bank values the cordial and very productive relationship it has with Kenya. And we have so far invested over 1.7 billion euros to support various sectors of the economy that supports trade. Let me give you a few examples. The expansion and rehabilitation of the regional port access road that was launched by President Ruto in February this year, the Mariakani to ease movement of goods and from the port of Mombasa. We have done several investments to increase the capacity of various Olkaria geothermal plants, which have supported the increase of clean power generation to power businesses to produce goods and offer services. We have supported the last mile connectivity project to take electricity access to underserved regions, a key factor in enabling the digital revolution across the country. And through our intermediated lending via local banks, we have provided much needed capital to the private sector to produce goods and services. Through our partnership with private equity funds, venture capital has been able to flow to Kenyan enterprises and especially the digital startup scene. A good example is Seed Star Ventures Fund that invested in POA Internet, which provides affordable and reliable internet to the country's low-income areas. Or the Helios Fund, which recently invested in IX Africa, a leading developer and operator of hyperscale-ready data centers in Kenya. Digitization is one of the key policy priorities of the European Commission under its Global Gateway Strategy. And the European Union has declared its intention to work with partner countries, including Kenya, to deploy digital networks and infrastructure. And the European Investment Bank is heavily involved in supporting these investments. Actually, over the last 5 years, EIB's digital economy lending, looking at sub-Saharan Africa, have mobilized a cumulative 4.3 billion euros, and it is growing. To the larger population of Kenya, the discussion happening in this room today might not touch them directly, but when they get the opportunity to communicate better, go online to study, be included in the financial system through mobile banking or cross-border integrated payment systems, sell their products or services online globally, their lives will be touched in a transformative way. The European Investment Bank stands ready to support Kenya to achieve its economic and development goals for mutual benefit. Thank you very much.
Thank you indeed. Allow me to take this opportunity now to invite the European Commissioner for Trade and Economic Security, His Excellency Maroš Šefčovič. Welcome. A round of applause for him, please.
Your Excellency, Mr. President, dear Cabinet Secretaries, my dear friend Thomas from the Östros from the EIB, the ambassadors and distinguished representatives of the business community. First and foremost, I really would like to thank the organizers and to you personally, Mr. President, that under your leadership such a meeting could take place, and also that thanks to your leadership, the relationship between European Union, Kenya, and the whole Africa is thriving. I have to start by sending the best greetings from the President of the European Commission, who visited Kenya personally several times, and I can tell you that she is one of the strongest supporters of the closer European and African relationship. And I think this is very important, especially in these days, because we see that the global trade is undergoing significant changes, and I want to appreciate the very deep discussion we already had with the Secretary Lee, and which we will continue, of course, after our conference here this morning. Because the changes which we see on the global trading floor means that the world suddenly seems to be more polarized, more fragmented, and more unstable. And therefore, I think in the times like this, you are appreciating much more trusted partnership. You see who are your real friends, with whom it's easier to do the trade, upon whom you can rely in the time of stress and complication. And that's the reason we all Europeans are here. That's the reason why I flew straight from Japan over to Kenya, just to underscore how the relationship with Kenya, with Africa, is important for the European Union. Because I think that today here we can showcase very important agreement we have signed, economic partnership agreement. I believe that it was a milestone for European Union, for Kenya, but this is also kind of pointer, kind of beacon for the rest of the countries across the Africa. Because the proof of this agreement is also demonstrated, not like the pudding in the eating, but in the revenue, in the growth of trade, in a number of business delegations crisscrossing the both continents. And I think here we have very good story to tell. This EPA, this Economic Partnership Agreement, is in place in something more than a year. And immediately we can see the positive impact on the growth of the trade volume. We are talking about 3.4 billion euros. We are talking about increase of 13%. And we have seen also the positive impact on overall investments flow, which over the decade grew by more than half, by 53%. And of course, we are very proud and very happy that the European Union is Kenya's first export destination, accounting for more than 14% of the exports. The discussion we had with His Excellency, Mr. President, and Cabinet Secretary my new friend with whom I'm sure we will be very intensively communicating, Lee, is the fact that I think we are just discovering the potential which exists between Kenya and the European Union. And I would say that the first testimony to that is the fact that today we are going to inaugurate Eurochem Kenya, because this just demonstrates that there is interest not only from the political level, but from concrete business operators, from the business leaders who are gathered here in this room, who just want to tap into this potential and make sure when we see each other next time that these percentages would be higher, investment would grow, and trade would be bigger than we have seen it today. When I'm traveling and I'm going to these international conferences, I'm always happy when Thomas Östros is with me, because here I will do a little bit of a promotion for him and for his bank, because sometimes we tend to forget the European Investment Bank is the biggest public bank on this planet. Nobody has bigger bank than the EIB. And when they put the financial muscle into something, it works. And I know Thomas, that he's a very dedicated person, and just few projects that he mentioned, he just did it out of the modesty, because I know that list is much longer. Plans are even for more investments, and I'm sure that you will be talking to the EIB colleagues a lot. About the future potential, I would just say that we see a huge opportunity for trade. We discussed with Mr. President and also with Cabinet Secretary potential for deeper cooperation in the services, deeper cooperation in the investments. We've also been very open about certain trade irritants, which will go into the detail later on. But we also found a way how to resolve them, how to use the structure created by this agreement to go along the way, and if there is a problem, to take care of it immediately, not to accumulate the things, but to make sure that we are having a clear path for the investment. If you allow me to end on the personal note, I spent in Africa probably my most beautiful years, because it was my first posting where as a young diplomat I was posted to Africa. I still remember not only warm weather, but warmth of the people, beauty of the nature, excellence, sense of humor, and Africa gave me the most precious gift. My second daughter was born here, so I am I'm a big supporter of Africa, as you can see, and therefore I'm so glad that we have such a trusted partner in Kenya, in His Excellency the President, in the Cabinet Secretary, because I'm sure there will be a lot of great and good things for both Africa and Europe happening here. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much indeed, Your Excellency Maroš. And from our discussions today, I can confirm that in you we have a friend, and that we are very optimistic of the days to come. Your Excellency, allow me to make my brief remarks before I invite you. So it is both an honor and privilege to join you today at this great forum on the second Kenya-European Union Business Forum. We are grateful to our friends from Europe for their continued commitment to fostering partnerships and strengthening economic ties between Kenya and Europe. We welcome the collaboration between the public and private sectors, both in Europe and Kenya, which is not only crucial, but also necessary for achieving inclusive and sustainable development. Africa is home to one of the world's largest, fastest growing populations, with abundant natural resources and rapidly expanding markets. Kenya is also a peace-loving nation and a key investment destination for European investments in sub-Saharan Africa. Kenya is also one of the continent's most dynamic economies and the economic and commercial center in Eastern and Central Africa. The country maintains a prudent economic policy necessary for investment. The IMF estimates that in 2024, our GDP grew by 4.5% and predicts a 5.5% in 2025. Ladies and gentlemen, Kenya values its long-standing partnership with the European Union, which has been strengthened by the recently signed Kenya-European Union Economic Partnership and is a landmark achievement and a testament to our shared commitment to achieving inclusive growth, sustainable and mutual prosperity. This agreement provides predictability for the business community and opens duty-free, quota-free market access for Kenyan products into the European Union, while enabling European businesses to benefit from rule-based trade environment in Kenya and the wider region. The elimination of tariffs on all Kenyan goods except arms and phased down liberalization over a 25-year period for goods from the European Union will result in increased trade between the two parties involved. And Your Excellency, I wish to note that we've had a near 30% increase since the agreement was signed, and this is quite progressive. Kenya exports to the European Union have very long time comprised of agricultural commodities such as live plants and cut flowers, tea, coffee, and spices. We also have edible fruits and nuts, edible vegetables, animals, and vegetable fats, and oil seeds. But the EPA now allows the diversification into exports on our industrial and other value-added products. On the other hand, Kenya imports from the European Union comprise mainly of capital equipment and intermediate input into Kenya's productive sector. These include machinery, electrical appliances, pharmaceutical, motor vehicles, paper, and other paper pulps products. We recognize the European Union's contribution to be Kenya's largest trading and development partner. We encourage more European companies to invest in Kenya with continued collaboration in the following areas. That is sustainable agriculture and agribusiness, including climate-smart technologies and food systems. We also have digital transformation, where Kenya offers a vibrant innovation ecosystem. We also have the green transition and circular economy, where we are looking at the renewable energy, e-mobility, and sustainable packaging. We also have infrastructure development and logistics, and we also hope that leveraging on Kenya's connectivity across East Africa will also provide a huge opportunity. Your presence here today provides an opportunity and a rare platform for large and medium-sized European corporates looking for new opportunities to invest in Kenya and Africa at large. On behalf of the government of Kenya, I wish to applaud the European Union for their financial and technical support and being involved in various projects in Kenya, including but not limited to investing in the Green Resilient Energy System program for Kenya, and particularly the Nairobi Clean Bus Rapid Transit Line 3, and the temperature-controlled shipping that are enabling the transition of flowers and other highly perishable products through sea freight. I look forward to fruitful engagements that will result in better trade between our two nations. I want to take this opportunity to thank all of you, and in particular the President, for gracing this occasion that marks the highlight of today. Allow me, ladies and gentlemen, to request you to be upstanding as we now invite the President to make his remarks. Welcome, Your Excellency. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Let's take our seats. Mr. Maroš Šefčovič, European Union Commissioner for Trade. I guess this is my first time to meet you. Welcome to Kenya. My friend, Mr. Thomas Östros, Vice President of the European Investment Bank. It's always a pleasure to have you in our country. Your Excellency, Ambassador of the Delegation of the European Union to Kenya, members of the Diplomatic Corps, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. And welcome to Kenya, those of you who are coming here for the first time and those of you who have traveled from different parts of the world. We say in Kenya, karibuni sana. On behalf of the government and people of Kenya, I warmly welcome you all to this landmark event, the second edition of the Kenya European Union Business Forum. And I commend the organizers for their outstanding preparation and dedication in bringing us together. This year's theme, Digitizing Trade, is both timely and forward-looking. It reflects the realities of our modern economy where digital technology is not just an enabler of trade, but its driving force. Through digitization, we unlock innovation, catalyze industrialization, and create seamless access to markets, information, and networks for mutual benefit of Kenya and the European Union. Kenya is open and ready to do business with you. That is why we have actively pursued and secured multiple and multilateral, regional, and bilateral trade agreements positioning Kenya as a gateway to global markets. We are proud signatories to the Africa Continental Free Trade Area, which gives us access to the $3.7 trillion market of 1.4 billion people in our continent. Through the Kenya-EU Economic Partnership Agreement, we enjoy privileged access to a $19 trillion market of 450 million good people of the European Union. Under the Africa Growth and Opportunities Act, we have entry into the $27 trillion United States market of 330 million people. Our agreement with the United Kingdom links us to a $3.3 trillion market. Our newly signed Kenya-UAE Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement connects us to another $503 billion Gulf market. Closer to Kenya, Kenya remains a key partner in the East African community, a $336 billion common market with a population of 300 million people. Each of these agreements connect Kenyan businesses to global opportunities, unlocking markets, attracting investments, and driving shared prosperity. Excellencies, we remain committed to implementing a pro-trade policy regime that not only foster inclusive wealth creation, but also generate much-needed opportunities. Our goal is to build a comprehensive, resilient economy that benefits every Kenyan while strengthening mutually beneficial partnership with allies like the EU. As we celebrate the digitization of trade, my administration is implementing bold and transformative measures to build a robust digital economy. We're rolling out, for example, an ambitious last-mile fiber connectivity program, aiming to install 100,000 kilometers of fiber optic cable and 25,000 public Wi-Fi hotspots by 2027, ensuring no part of Kenya is left behind in the digital revolution. Through the expanded eCitizen platform, over 20,000 government services have been digitized, making it easier, faster, and cheaper for businesses to engage with government. We have established 284 digital hubs in TVET institutions, with 400 more under construction. These hubs are becoming vital centers of innovation, enterprise, and digital skills development. Kenya is attracting global technology giants. For example, Microsoft, Amazon Web Services, and Apple have already established a presence in Kenya. Global BPO leaders such as Sama, CCI, and Teleperformance, in fact, the leading BPO company in the world, have all anchored their operations in Kenya, positioning our country as a leading regional hub for software development, business process outsourcing, and digital services. To support this growth, we have introduced tax reforms that foster a pro-business environment. The finance bill of this year, 2025, reduces the tax on digital asset transfers from 3% to 1.5%. This signals our commitment to an innovation-driven economy that nurtures startups, MSMEs, and investors alike. These efforts are already bearing fruit. Just last month, the International Monetary Fund ranked Kenya as the 6th largest economy in Africa, up from the 8th 2.5 years ago, projecting our GDP to reach $132 billion by 2025. Our currency has appreciated by 21% in 2024, making it one of the best performing currencies globally. These achievements reflect the sound reforms and bold measures implemented over the past 2.5 years. Ladies and gentlemen, this forum comes at an opportune moment following the entry into force of the Kenya-EU Partnership Agreement. Significant strides have been made in operationalizing this historic agreement, including its ratification and the convening of the EPA senior officials meeting, which culminates in the inauguration of the EPA Council later today. I did already appoint members from the Kenyan side to the EPA Council, and I look forward to positive outcomes from the first meeting that's going to be held today. I urge the EPA Council to explore innovative ways to unlock the vast potential of Kenya-EU trade while addressing current and emerging barriers. We must move beyond good intentions to actionable outcomes that bring tangible benefits to our businesses, investors, and citizens. A major highlight of today's engagement is the launch of the European Union Chamber, I'm told Eurocham. This marks a new chapter in deepening Kenya-EU private sector collaboration. By promoting trade, sustainable development, stakeholder dialogue, and a better investment climate, Eurocham will play a pivotal role. I encourage the establishment of Kenya-EU Business Council between Eurocham and the Kenya National Chamber of Commerce and Industry to provide a unified voice and a focused agenda. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, our partnership with the European Union has been instrumental in driving development cooperation in energy, infrastructure, water and sanitation, urban development, agriculture, and other key sectors. I remember visiting one of our counties with the European ambassador here in Kabonyo, somewhere in Western Kenya, in Kisumu, to inaugurate a trauma hospital that currently is serving that region as part of the building blocks of our strong relationship. The EU delegation to Kenya and the European Investment Bank, whose Eastern Africa regional headquarters is in Nairobi, have been invaluable partners in this journey. As we look ahead, we must broaden our horizon beyond Kenya. I look forward to the upcoming Africa Union, European Union ministerial meeting later this month in Brussels, where we will advance continental priorities in trade, in investment, and sustainable development. I wish you all in this meeting a very fruitful and impactful deliberations at this second edition of the Kenya European Union Business Forum. As we deepen this partnership, I warmly invite you to the Kenya International Investment Conference in early 2026 in Nairobi. I trust that this delegation will actively engage in identifying opportunities, building partnerships, and including investment deals across key sectors. Ladies and gentlemen, I thank you, and I wish you well.
Round of applause for His Excellency. Thank you very much, Your Excellency. If I may kindly indulge you slightly, Your Excellency, just for 2 photo opportunities. Can we take our seats, please? Let's kindly take our seats. I'll invite all the speakers, all those who spoke, to kindly join His Excellency for a photo opportunity, being the first photo. The second photo, I'll invite all the PSs present and CS William Kabogo to also join in. Welcome. A thumbs up once you're ready. All right, thank you. I'll request now all PSs present to kindly join in. All PSs present, kindly join in the photo. After which we will wind up with the national anthem, just the Kenyan anthem, after this photo. So we'll leave His Excellency on stage while the rest of us will exit the stage. EU ambassadors as well, EU ambassadors. I hear it's Team Kenya with a big smile. Wonderful. Thank you, Your Excellencies. We'll request His Excellency to remain on stage for the anthems. We'll finish with the EU anthem followed by the Kenyan national anthem. So those of us who are seated, kindly let's be upstanding as we are now going to wind up with the anthem, starting with the EU anthem followed by the Kenyan anthem. I'll request that we all maintain our positions as we allow His Excellency to exit at his own pleasure. So kindly, let's remain in our positions as we allow him to now exit.
Thank you so much. We may kindly take our seats. Thank you so much.
and agri-tech with precision, and which stand up for me, it was the investments of the bank in entrepreneur in circular economy in Africa.
Absolutely. The investment. Thank you. So a big round of applause to Catherine. Come on. We celebrate you. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your event, and in the spirit of partnership, we're saying we all must be involved. We all must be involved. Let me come to you, sir. Just your name and organization and what stood out for you.
Hi, I'm Puneet. I'm from Kaleidofin. We are a fintech company based in India.
Your name again?
Puneet.
Puneet. Yeah. A big round of applause to Puneet. Thank you so much.
We are a fintech company based out of Kenya and India. And the focus of our work is to use data science to be able to make sure that we are able to provide access to financial services for low-income households. My key takeaway was that for an economy to grow and for economies like Kenya to grow, the participation of everybody, especially the low-income households, people engaged in small enterprises is going to be very, very significant. And as the country starts to think about growing its GDP, for me, the big takeaway was how can we participate in making sure that there are access to financial services available to everybody out there.
Puneet, a big round of applause for him. Thank you so much. Indeed, yes, the participation of everyone will make this particular partnership agreement a success. No bystanders. All of us should be at the forefront to make sure that it works out. Let me just walk inside here. Just talk to us. Your name, organization, and what stood out for you during... It's okay. You can even say hello. It's all right.
My name is Sally Mahihu, the chairperson of Kenya Investment Authority. Mine was the encouragement at the genuine, sincere desire for partnership, long-lasting and sustainable. Thank you.
Big round of applause to Sally. The genuineness, the encouragement, very important. Now, you were chosen to also speak. Tell us your name and organization and what stood out for you.
Milton Lore.
Milton.
Yes, from Open Capital. Kenya as the gateway to the world.
Kenya as the gateway to the world. A big round of applause to Milton. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, as we wait for the panelists to come in, we just want to get the feel that we are all together in our engagement. Good to see you, sir. Just your name and organization and what stood out for you in the different speeches we heard.
Yeah, good morning, everybody. My name is John Kilonzo. I'm the CECM for Trade, Industry, Innovation, SMEs, and Tourism, Machakos County. One, the digital space and how we can use it to enhance our e-commerce, the blockchain story as we've spoken about, and most importantly, the availability of credit to our SMEs. Thank you.
Bwana Kilonzo, a big round of applause to Kilonzo. The digital space, investment, very important. Ivano, talk to us. What stood out for you during the speeches?
Thank you. I think one big thing that comes out of this agreement is the privileged partnership for younger generations of Kenyans. And this is a fantastic opportunity for the future.
Fantastic opportunity for the future. Thank you so much, Ivano. Really appreciate it. Ivano has said something very critical. Let me see, young people who are here, if you consider yourself a young person, where are your hands? Okay, that's good. Ivano has said something very critical here. That this is actually very critical in the engagement of young people. So talk to us. What are your expectations from this particular partnership? Please help me throughout. Your name, organization, go ahead.
Good morning. My name is Asha Kajeki from...
Asha, a big round of applause to Asha. Thank you so much. Just go ahead.
Yes, I am the CEO of Placo Manufacturers, where we use plastic waste to make furniture and decor products.
Wow.
So I'm excited to be here today, and one of what I've been able to understand is the vast opportunities that is out there for us as young people, and how we could harness technology to be able to at least improve trade relations with different states. Thank you.
Asha, wow, thank you so much. A big round of applause to Asha. Major opportunities, major opportunities. It's okay, I'm still here. What's your name, organization, and what stood out for you?
So my name is Maria. I work.
Maria. A big round of applause to Maria. We want to listen. Who did that?
My colleague.
Oh, come on. Let's just do that. So, give a big round of applause to Maria. Oh, come on. That's the spirit. Oh, now, we need to all do this. Listen. If we don't do it with energy, with purpose, it will just be a talk show. We need music. We need music. DJ. We have a technical team right there. Okay, so, hey, everybody, tell the person seated next to you, shh. Tell them, shh. Okay, so, this is what we're going to do. This is a rehearsal. So, I'll say a big round of applause to Maria. Woo! Okay, did you get it? Okay, let's do it one more time. A big round of applause to Maria. Oh. Okay, so everybody, 3, 2, 1, a big round of applause to Maria. Fantastic. See that?
Thank you.
Okay, so what stood out for you, Maria?
Just the vibe of the conference is already very
The vibe.
good for that kind of, it's 10, so the vibe is good for that time.
Absolutely. Big round of applause to Maria. Thank you so much indeed. Really appreciate you. Let's encourage each other as we engage. Don't worry, I'm here. We're together. Share so that we can all learn. What about you? Tell us your name. Oh, it's okay. What did you pick? What stood out for you?
I am Vicky Pandazopoulos.
Vicky. Big round of applause to Vicky, please. Come on. That's it. Okay. Big round of applause to Vicky. That's it. Go ahead.
I am a Kenya consul to Greece.
To Greece? Yes. Wow. Thank you so much.
So I am here to attend this forum because it will help me to facilitate the Kenyan and the Greece relationship in the trade sector.
Wow.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Big round of applause to Vicky. Thank you so much. Asha, talk to Vicky. She's here to facilitate that kind of partnership. Let's just have the screen. And probably the next time we need to also appreciate Europe in a big way. But before we move on, Leiden, I've seen you. Tell us, what stood out for you during the speeches? It's okay. Just say hello. Say hello to the people.
Hello, everyone. Looking forward to the panel discussion.
So, your name?
Leiden from the EU. Looking forward to the panel discussion.
Okay. A big round of applause to Leiden. Big round of applause for her. Thank you so much. But let me hand it over to the gentleman behind you. What stood out for you? Your name, organization?
My name is Paul Garagari, Chief Finance Officer, Family Bank. What stood out for me is the continued partnership between European Investment Bank and Family Bank to continue to wire credit into private sector within the country. Thank you.
Big round of applause to Bwana Paul. Thank you so much. And immediately after the panel discussion, we'll have the signing of a finance agreement with Family Bank. Talk to us.
Okay, hi everyone. My name is Viona Kinyi. I represent the AFCFTA Youth Advisory Council in Kenya. I'm the communication director. So what stood up for me was when the president talked about trying to make a seamless trade, being a youth and representing the youth in the trade area. These days you find that a youth can come from the university, but what he or she learned from the university is not what he or she is currently doing. Yeah. Most of them are in trade. Find them with their laptops, doing 1, 2, 3, maybe trading from here to Uganda without traveling. So that stood out for me when he said that they were working on the AFCFTA incidentally. Thank you.
So this is just, as you heard, this is just a milestone, but it's a beacon of possibilities for East Africa and the African continent. So we want to celebrate the partnership. Ladies and gentlemen, we want to celebrate our panelists who are here, Your Excellency, Ambassador, welcome. Let's just have the screen once again. Let's have our screen. Let's have our screen so that we appreciate. Thank you. So this is our beloved country, Kenya. The possibilities are immense. And we want to appreciate the long-standing partnership that we've had. So as we focus on the EU-Kenya Economic Partnership Agreement, we want to look at its objectives, the opportunities, and perhaps look at the challenges as well. And then we focus now on the digitalization of trade. And also focus on understanding the role of financial institutions. So this discussion, ladies and gentlemen, is loaded. We want to hear commitment. We want to hear very critical, actionable plans moving forward. So ladies and gentlemen, in a moment I'll be welcoming our panelists who are already here. So thank you once again. We have the Menti platform to give you an opportunity to ask questions. So get ready with your questions and comments. So ladies and gentlemen, I'll welcome our first panelist. So ladies and gentlemen, we want to kick off thank you so much. So let's have our panelists come on board. We'll start with
his leadership in audit and compliance, partnerships with global development banks, and steadfast commitment to responsibility, diversity, and inclusion inspire sustainable growth and powerful collaboration for a brighter future. He serves as Vice President of the European Investment Bank, driving bold investments in energy, health, and life sciences across Europe and partner regions. Please welcome Thomas Östros.
A big round of applause to Thomas Östros, who spoke to us. Welcome, welcome. Up next, ladies and gentlemen.
He champions a stronger, safer Europe as Commissioner for Trade and Economic Security, weaving global partnerships and transparent institutions to secure vital supply chains and drive resilient growth. With a proven diplomatic track record, from Green Deal leadership to Slovakia's EU integration, his visionary guidance promises bold progress and ethical excellence across the Union. Please welcome Maroš Šefčovič.
Maroš, welcome. We celebrate you. Thank you so much. Welcome. Appreciate it. Very well. Up next, ladies and gentlemen.
Throughout his pioneering tenure as the first governor of Kiambu County, he has demonstrated unwavering leadership and resilience. Now he is leading transformative progress and innovation, igniting our collective hope for a brighter and more connected Kenya. Committed to digital transformation, he is working on ensuring that services to Kenyans are swift, efficient, and delivered in real time. Please welcome the Ministry of Information, Communications and the Digital Economy, Economy Cabinet Secretary, Honorable William Kavogo.
A big round of applause for him. We also have...
He is a visionary chairperson of the Kenya Private Sector Alliance and the Kenya Export Promotion and Branding Agency, whose leadership has unlocked new markets in Africa, China, the European Union and the USA, propelling Kenya's global trade presence. He champions the Brand Kenya, Export Kenyan and Build Kenya vision to inspire bold economic growth and lasting progress. Please welcome Dr. Jaswinda Bedi.
Big round of applause, please. Of course, waiting for him.
He brings his visionary leadership to the role of Cabinet Secretary for Investments, Trade and Industry, building on his success in transforming Nakuru County into a vibrant city and being named Africa's most business-friendly governor. With experience, he inspires confidence and promises bold investments, innovation and lasting growth for all Kenyans. Please welcome Honorable Kinyanjui.
Wow, big round of applause. Welcome, 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 welcome. We celebrate you. Thank you so much indeed. We are ready now. We're ready now. So ladies and gentlemen, as we said, if you have any questions, we'll have the Menti platform ready for you to post your questions. But very quickly, it's been 1 year. Honorable Lee, let me start with you. And in your speech, I noted that you said this agreement provides predictability for the Kenyan business community. What are the expectations, Kenyan expectations, in regards to the economic partnership agreement?
Thank you. First, I want to take this opportunity to really appreciate the European Union team led by His Excellency here, but also to confirm that as a country, we take this EPA as a critical milestone in opening markets for Kenyan companies and creating both predictability, because when you look at investments, both in industry, manufacturing and any other area, it's a long-term investment. And therefore, for investors to make long-term investment when the markets are not sure, it becomes a serious challenge. We have seen growth since we signed this agreement, and we are hopeful that even in the coming days, the predictability created around the agreement and many other areas that we'll be looking into will create the confidence with the investors and also the financial sector, because the private sector is actually supported by the financial sector in terms of growth and expansion. So it's an area we are working on, and also to note that we have a very clear working mechanism. So there's a standing committee, so when there are issues that require to be looked at and clear solutions made, we are there. And also happy that the highest political office, that's the presidency, has given a nod to this particular agreement, which means there is no problem within government, within the private sector, and even at the ministry level that we cannot solve. So I want to say that we're very grateful, and this is probably the most progressive we can get. Thank you.
Most progressive. A big round of applause to Honorable Lee. If you have any questions for him, please start with his name. Is it okay they start with Lee, then your question? Fantastic. Thank you so much. Maroš, you spoke about this agreement being a milestone, but also a beacon for the rest of the continent. What are the big expectations for you as the European Union?
First and foremost, thank you very much for the kind invitation and also for this introductory words when I was getting on the stage. I think I will ask my team to record it, and when I will feel a little bit frustrated, I will play it for myself, you know, to cheer up, because in these days sometimes you need it. I mean, we had an excellent morning session with Cabinet Secretary, with my friend Lee, about how important in these particular days is to work with friends, with close partners, and with those with whom you have an established record. And I have to say that with Kenya, we already clearly demonstrated that we know not only to negotiate the good deals and good agreements, but especially to implement them. So since we started with this new agreement, we had significant growth, more than 13% in 1 year. Who wouldn't like it? Who wouldn't like it? You know, more than 13% in 1 year. And I believe that we are just discovering the potential. Maybe two things I would say for not being too long. First one is that we are the biggest trader on this planet, European Union. We have more than 55 free trade agreements signed, and I can tell you that there is not a single one which didn't bring pluses for both sides. Significant increase of trade, significant increase of investment, strong presence of the EIB, and it changes economic and political dynamic and the relationship for the better. And this is exactly what we want to achieve with Kenya, with Lee, and with the visionary President's remark. What's quite clear that we want also to show this as a showcase to other partners in Africa, because for me, Europe and Africa are natural continental partners, so that's our ambition here.
Big round of applause to Maroš. Thank you so much. Questions for Maroš? We'll start with your name, first name, okay.
Absolutely.
Fantastic. Thomas, Maroš said, wow. The European Investment Bank, the biggest public bank in the planet, when you put your finances into something, it works. My goodness. Please assure us, how critical is financing in making sure that the Economic Partnership Agreement really works? Go ahead.
Thank you. I just came from a bilateral with President Ruto, and I met him several times during my visits to Kenya. And I told him, every time I'm here, I'm so impressed by the dynamics and vibrancy of the private sector in Kenya. I think that shows really the way forward to develop small and medium-sized companies, the backbone of the Kenyan economy, also to grow into mid-caps and larger corporations. Just to give you a couple of examples of companies that I have met during my visits. Last time I was here, I visited Burn Manufacturing, a very interesting corporation that produces clean cooking stoves that they export to the whole African continent.
Wow, wow.
And we were able to support them with the credit line so that they could expand their production of this very innovative way of producing, but also using carbon credits as a way of improving the profitability of the company. I mean, top of the line, cutting edge business. We have Arch Cold Chain Facility that is establishing cold chains to support the export of products that are very sensitive if they are not in the cold chain all the time during the supply. And this is also an interesting company that we are able to support. So as a bank, we have quite a broad tool set. We can do equity via equity funds. We can do corporate loans directly. We work with small and medium-sized businesses via our partner banks in Kenya. As I told you, just in a short while, we will sign another deal with the Family Bank.
Family Bank is here.
Yes, to support small and medium-sized businesses in certain important sectors, female entrepreneurs, young entrepreneurs. We also do public loans. We have been supporting, for instance, the expansion of renewable energy for many, many years in Kenya. So I think the partnership that we have can be very powerful when we go together to share goals, and we can use some of our balance sheet to support economic development.
Fantastic. A big round of applause to Thomas. Questions for Thomas? Start with his first name. Thomas is talking about a vibrant private sector. Dr. Jas. Vibrant private sector. How can they tap into this particular economic private partnership agreement? Go ahead.
Thank you very much for that question. I think the numbers don't lie, and our exports from Kenya, last year we exported $1.1 billion to the EU. We imported $1.8 billion. The trade between the two regions, Kenya and the European Union, is almost $3 billion. We have $700 billion trade imbalance in favor of Europe, but we can see that growing. We've seen a big jump from 2023 to 2024, from $1 billion exports to 1.1, that's 10% growth. And at the same time, we also saw growth from imports from 1.6 billion in 23 to 1.8 billion, a $200 billion growth. So where are we actually focusing right now? A lot of our business, 29% of our business is cut flowers, Coffee is 12% of our business with the EU. Dates, figs, avocados, fruits are about 9%. So bulk of our business is agricultural-based businesses with the EU, and that's been going on for many, many decades. I think now that we have this EPA signed, we need to change that. We need to expand our product offering. We need to expand our product mix. And by that, we need to diversify our exports to the EU now that we have this huge opportunity at our doorsteps. It's an $18 trillion market. It's not a small market, and we have a very small slice of the pie. So interesting times for the private sector and interesting times for us to grow this business, and maybe have it the other way around, where we would have a trade surplus with the EU as opposed to EU having a trade surplus.
Dr. Jas, a big round of applause for him. Interesting times, diversification. Thank you so much indeed. You know, His Excellency spoke about digital technology is not just an enabler, but a driving force for trade. Honorable Kavogo, I mean, this is a very critical docket. You know, what are the opportunities?
Thank you and good morning to all. I'm one of the guys who are not very lucky this morning. I started my day with my president here speaking, and I walked in. So that has put my job on the line. But yes, indeed. Internet of Things, digital, ICT is everything today. And that's why my ministry, besides anything else, is trying and attempting to make sure that Kenya is 100% connected. And we have 100,000 kilometers anticipated connectivity of internet. We are doing 53,000 connections to government. And it is my duty to make sure that government is completely connected. At the same time, creating space for young men and women in rural areas to have access to digital skilling. And that's why we anticipate to open up 1,450 digital hubs, one in every electoral ward.
Wow.
So we are telling the young men and women of Kenya, take advantage of these accessible internet services so that you can grow your businesses and also have access to international business like the European Union and the pact that we have with them in our agreement. Our young men and women will be able to access these businesses by co-exchanging between ourselves and the European Union business community. So the digital is the way to go.
Excellent. A big round of applause to Honorable Kavogo. Questions now from you. Let's see whether we have a couple of questions via Menti, but if you have any question, you can just put up your hand and a microphone will be delivered to you. This is your moment. This is your time. Any question from this side? Clarifications? Okay, questions. Let's have Menti on the screen. Let's have fantastic. We have questions from the screen. So I'll read out the question because of time. Question for you, Honorable Lee. They say this economic partnership agreement opens the floodgates for Kenyan products into Europe. But what exactly are we sending, and who in Kenya is actually benefiting? All right. So let me probably just pick the quick question so that at least as you give your remarks, you can also be giving your final remarks. Let's have Honorable Kavogo. There's a question here for you. This is from Professor Felix Musau. He's asking, what plans do you have as first governor of Kiambu and current CS ICT to empower the youth in skills development and opening business opportunities in EU-Kenya trade? Okay, so that's clear, to the point. Thank you so much. Thomas, a question for you. What do I need to do to get facilitation from the European Union Investment Bank to establish a business? I have the concept note and the plan. What should I do? Okay. Any further questions? Okay. Let's start with you, Honorable Lee.
Thank you. Well, it is true that the European markets are open to Kenyan exporters, and I think it's something we're very proud of. Who is benefiting? I think potentially everyone is a beneficiary, directly or indirectly. And I think this is really where we want to emphasize, because within the agreement, there is a structure for us to ensure that we get to the lowest level to educate the public on the opportunities that are available, and even more significantly, to try and provide a mechanism within which they can plug in. We appreciate that it is not possible for everybody to be an exporter. And therefore, to that extent, we are also working with what we would call like aggregators, people who buy from the small-scale farmers with a view to aggregating and exporting to the European Union. One of the things we would want to achieve is also to educate them on the standards, requirements, and also the range of products that are needed, so that we do not have a mismatch between what the markets want and what is being provided. And I think there's a very huge scope to this extent. We are currently doing well in vegetables, fruits and vegetables. We also have flowers, edible oils, coffee and tea. But I think our emphasis also must be on value addition, so that we end up with products where we have a bit of value addition, and also where we create employment at home before we can send it. But I want to say, given Kenya's expertise in agriculture, in export trade, there's a huge opportunity. And I think this particular forum is also to connect the two business people so that we can encourage. But we'll be going to the last mile, which is the counties where this can be done. Thank you.
Thank you so much. A big round of applause to Honorable Lee. Thank you so much for that remark. Honorable Kavogo, your thoughts in terms of the question that was highlighted in terms of training. Go ahead.
Like I said earlier, on the issue of opportunities for the young men and women in Kenya, this is why I said earlier we have centers of excellence that we have started.
Centers of excellence.
One in every constituency that will be used as a training hub, so that the young men and women will go into those centers of excellence and train, and probably live there with a small loan that is from the Hustler Fund to go and create their own small hubs in the villages, so that we can stop people migrating to Nairobi or to other centers by making sure that the entire country is properly connected. And the gap that is there is the digital skills. And that's why we have trained people in the Technopolis of Konza, experts in ICT and digital platform, so that the training can go to the villages, so that the entire country is benefiting from the digital forum, and that's exactly what we're doing.
Asante, a big round of applause. Honorable Kavogo, thank you so much. Thomas, direct support. Is there something like that?
Thanks. I'm really grateful for the question. How can we support an individual entrepreneur that is he or she has the idea but are looking for finance? So we work with excellent partners locally. In Nairobi, all over Kenya, local banks, like Family Bank, the signature that we will do this afternoon, and they in turn work with the individual entrepreneurs. And that is that we need to use our different types of strengths to reach the final beneficiary that is so important. We can also offer technical assistance to a bank to develop the way they work so that they really can reach out to the individual entrepreneurs. And if this person that asked the question wants to have some guidance, we can help from our office in Nairobi to guide you to the specific banks that we are cooperating with, or the venture capital funds that we are cooperating with, if it is an equity issue. So for us, it is key to work with the partners here that knows the territory and knows the persons involved. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. Big round of applause to Thomas. Dr. Jas, and this is for everyone, as you give your final remarks, the President made it clear. We want to move from good intentions to actionable outcomes with very tangible results. How do we do that moving forward as you make your final remarks?
Thank you very much for that question. I think earlier on this morning, my friend spoke about the world is getting very, very polarized. And in this new dispensation of world trade, I actually say that we have a new world trade order being drafted and crafted as we speak. And you can see that with all the tariffs that were put on to the whole world, and how the world is reacting to this thing, to this new dispensation. I think with the EU, we have certainty as a continent. We have certainty. Certainty as a country because of the EPA agreement that we have. So it actually helps for trade. And what does trade want? Trade wants certainty. And that is what we are not getting with the rest of the world right now, with this polarized new world trade order, as I would call it. So I think its timing of this agreement was good. And the EU is a huge market, it's the second largest market in the world, $18 trillion economy. It's not a small economy by any size. We just need to rejig our product offering. I think we need to, as Kenyan investors, ask for something which may be the wrong audience here, but the truth of the matter is that, for example, when there are countries that have graduated from an LDC status to a developing status, we should actually appreciate that they have graduated, and they should be then be told that tariff will now apply on your goods into the EU. Unfortunately, certain countries are still benefiting after graduating from an LDC status to a developing status where Kenya is, and still enjoying that market access. There's a discussion that needs to happen, because that discussion puts Kenya at a different pedestal, and that's how our product offering, and we are largely agriculture based because of that fundamental one issue.
Dr. Jas, big round of applause for him. Thank you so much indeed. Honorable Lee.
Us to appeal to our many visitors who've come, and investors for that matter, from Europe, that Kenya has a very attractive offering. And I think the President alluded to the fact that probably this is one of the countries where you can pump in £3 million and tomorrow you remove it, euro, dollar, whatever currency, and there are no restrictions. We also have a very stable currency. And currently in Africa, we are the best performing currency for stability. And that becomes a very important thing for when you want to see which country to invest. We also have a significant drive to try and attract investors into our special economic zones, some of them based in Mombasa, like what we call the Dongo Kundu. And again, that would be a very attractive strategic location next to the port if you want to engage in export, both within the region and outside. And this is also welcome to all the investors coming from the European Union space. We also have a very good, educated, vibrant youth with very high digital penetration. And I think, as you all know, Kenya is ranking fast in that space. So again, for all those great companies in Europe that are looking for partners in Africa, Kenya really is that country, because I'm told for every 5, about 2 in the university are studying ICT-related courses. And this has really created a huge attraction for Kenya in terms of business process outsourcing and any other digital sort of company that would be willing to come to Kenya. Then lastly, is also to say that the EPA is actually the framework upon which now all these companies can be able to come. So we're looking forward to a great opportunity to move from potential to reality.
Potential to reality.
And one of the things I really applaud this agreement is that it has both the mechanism and the funding to ensure that happens. And as a ministry working together with all the stakeholders, including the private sector, we shall make sure that that comes to fruition with regular conversations between myself and our colleague here, and also at the technical level headed by our ambassador. Thank you.
Honorable Lee, thank you so much. We have just 2 questions, final questions here. Please go ahead. Then up next, 1 minute each. Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you very much. My question is to Honorable Lee. One of the biggest challenges facing Kenyan exporters, and especially SMEs who are in agribusiness, is the cost of freight, both in terms of price and space. That has limited our absorption of, the opportunities in the market. I don't know what you are going to do, or we are going to do as a country to really improve that. Remember, we're competing with imports from other parts of the world. So if we cannot be effective in terms of cost, then it's very difficult for us to be competitive. Thank you.
My name is John Karegwa. My question is to the EU representatives. There's a big challenge with visas.
That's Maroš.
Visa.
Maroš or
yes,
Thomas?
Yes, both.
Okay, go ahead.
There's a big challenge with visas for business people and for everyone to EU. How do we plan to trade with EU when business people cannot get visas to EU to do business? And the second question is still to the EU team. I know you're grappling with the issue of migration. It's a big problem. But I think one of the best ways to deal with it is to ensure there are more jobs created here and you could support. We all know Gen Z almost overthrew the government last year. So if there are jobs, less migration, and I think that's what we should focus on, manufacturing and so on, jobs for the youth. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Many thanks. Let me give this opportunity to Maroš. You want to go first? Then Honorable Lee will close for us.
Thank you. Thank you very much for this question, but also for the, I would say, discussions we had the whole morning. Because I mean, the gist of our debate was how can we use also this morning to make things better, to trade more, to strengthen our relationship. I think we've been listening very carefully to His Excellency the President. We both had bilaterals with him. We had very good discussions with the ministers, and we had the chance to chat with the representatives of the business community this morning. And I think all that clearly proves that what we managed to create by the EPA, by, I would say, the sessions like we had this morning, is that the networking is already happening. And I think as each agreement, it's important from the perspective of creating the framework. But the success of this agreement is always proven by the number of contracts. Does it help the trade? Do we have more exchanges between the businessmen, between the people? Do we see improvement in the investment climate? Are we creating the machine to solve the problems as they are coming? And of course there will be problems because our trade volumes will go bigger. So we need to have mechanisms to sort out the problems on the both sides. And all this we've been tackling this morning. So what I would say that is very crucial as a main takeaway for me, the huge potential, strong political aim and desire to do better, to do more, to work with Kenya as a pioneer on African continent, and to put this EPA into the good use. So we will have our first council this afternoon. I'm sure that one of the conclusions would be the creation of so-called subcommittees, which will be there to make sure that if there is problem here and there, we'll be able to solve it better. That we'll have more events like this here in Nairobi, but also in different capitals in Europe, just to make sure the businessmen can talk to each other and solve the problems and bring us the new projects. I'm also very proud how well we are working with Kenya on the digitalization, which is actually the theme of today's meeting, because to mobilize more than 430 million just to make sure that already vibrant digital sector in Kenya is even more stronger, is even more potent, and create, I would say, more opportunities which are good for Kenya, which are good for the EU. It's something which is extraordinary. And I'm sure that Thomas can speak about the billions of euros invested under the global gateway projects in different decarbonization projects, which again I believe would serve as kind of inspiration for others. So all this, it's at our grasp. It's up to us to resolve it and to respond to the last question. If it comes to creation of the jobs locally, that's our feature. Once we come as Europeans and we invest, we want the local value added to be created here by the local workers, by the local population, because this is how we believe the right investment should take place. That we benefit from it at the end, that's also normal because you are an investor, but we want to put the focus on the local creation, local jobs, and local business culture. And of course, the issue of the visa is something which we have to discuss in the framework of our council, how to make sure that this is not something which is hampering our potential trade, is not something which would prevent the Kenya businessmen to do good businesses all over the world and especially in Africa. So these would be the answers to your question. Thank you.
Many thanks. A big round of applause to Maroš. Thomas, final remarks?
Thanks. I earlier spoke about the importance for us to support the private sector, small and medium-sized businesses, preferably growing into mid-caps. That's key. But if this export orientation will be successful depends also on critical infrastructure. And that is why I think it was so important that the financing from our side, support from European Union, for the Marikiari-Mombasa road, connecting to the port of Mombasa, creating the possibilities of export, also becoming the export hub connecting to landlocked countries west of Kenya and other directions. That creates the circumstances to really be trade-oriented and export-oriented. So critical infrastructure together with support to small and medium-sized and growing businesses I think is key, and that is a field where we are very active and look forward to future projects.
Thomas, a big round of applause. Honorable Kabogo.
Said earlier, my parting shot, one to our friends from the European countries, is that Kenya is well placed now to compete with India on issues of business processing overseas, so that we have many BPOs coming up in Kenya. And this is a great opportunity because we have a very vibrant and educated young people. So I want to say digital trade is no longer a luxury. It is a necessity for Kenyan businesses to thrive under the EU EPA. Whether you are a farmer, a fashion designer, a coder, an exporter, now is the time to digitize, connect, and trade smarter. The government is here to support you, but the first step starts with you. Thank you.
Wow, the first step starts with you. Thank you so much. A big round of applause to Honorable Kabogo. There was a question directed to Honorable Lee as we close. Go ahead.
So thank you. I think the cost of freight is very critical to the Kenya side of the conversation, given that a good percentage of our export is fresh produce. So we are thinking vegetables, flowers, and so on. So if there are challenges on availability or even the cost of freight, then that becomes a huge impediment on our side. I think worth noting is that Kenya Airways is probably what is in our hands, and I want to confirm that there are active conversations to try and expand our cargo capacity. And you are aware that recently we recruited a new manager in that space, and the good thing about volume, the more you build volume, the lower the cost. So I think we'll be able to get there very soon. Secondly also is working also with other airlines, because for fresh produce, you would prefer to have direct flights, because the changing sometimes may have issues of rejection and such like. So again, we will work with other companies, especially in relation to direct flights to all these European countries, and I'm sure you will see some change in it. We are also working together with the European Union on the issue of sea freight, as a possible alternative that would probably be less than half the cost. Do we have the entire system, the infrastructure? As of now, the answer is no. But that is also an opportunity for the infrastructure companies that would put up the cold store chain all the way up to Mombasa. And recently, when the King of Netherlands was here, we visited Naivasha, and that can be a very huge collection point for the produce from around that part of Kenya, and also considering the Nanyuki for the section around Mount Kenya. So there are conversations on how we can be able to expound the sea freight, which is almost half, and also working with the farmers to get the right varieties that can withstand the long period within which we require to take our produce to Europe and other markets. So indeed there's a conversation. We realize that that's a big obstacle, but the good thing is that something is happening, and I want to assure you by the end of the year, we should have some positive news to try and reduce your cost of freight. Thank you.
Wow, thank you so much. A big round of applause to our panelists. Thank you so much. We've come to the end of our panel discussion. Give me sound a bit. Give me sound a bit, technical team. We really appreciate you for the work you've done. Sound, please. A big round of applause for our panelists. You know, Maroš, you spoke about Africa gave you one of the most gracious gifts. Now, Kenya, we want to make this particular moment memorable. So the Kenyans, we have a dance. We're going to show them how to dance. So please be upstanding. Please be upstanding. So ladies and gentlemen, Honorable Kavogo, uko tayari? Okay, let's go. Hiya. Everybody, let's go. This is how you do it. Honorable Lee, how do you do it? Everybody, let's go. So ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats. Please take your seats. Now we have a very critical engagement. We want to see some critical agreements being signed. Earlier on we spoke about Family Bank. And so we're going to have the European Investment Bank and Family Bank of Kenya signing ceremony. And so I'd kindly request that we really pay attention at this particular moment. Very critical. We're ready to witness the formal signing of a finance agreement between the European Investment Bank and the Family Bank of Kenya, guaranteed by the European Union, aimed at mobilizing, listen, not one, not two, not three, but 100 million euros to support credit across SMEs. So I'd kindly request that we have the set ready for the signing of this particular partnership. I'll be calling a couple of names. Once I call your name, please come forward. So it's important to note that this 100 million euros is there to support especially trade and agriculture sectors, with a particular focus on women and youth entrepreneurs. So women and youth entrepreneurs who are in here, who are watching us virtually, take note of this. This is for you. And the first step starts with you, as we were told by Honorable Kavogo. So get ready. We want to witness the signing of this particular agreement. We're getting set, but very quickly, Representative, please be on standby as well. It's important to note that this particular partnership is a financial initiative, a financing initiative aligned with the European Union's Global Gateway strategy. What's the strategy about? Sustainable investments to promote trade, manufacturing, agriculture, climate action, and services. So, we are absolutely ready. Thank you so much, a technical team, for the support. Many thanks, many thanks, many thanks. So this is where, once we're done with the signing, we really give a big round of applause, probably a standing ovation. So once we have the signing, I'd kindly request that we be standing up. We'll have 2 signing sessions, then another session, a very critical session, to move the needle forward. So at this particular moment, I'd kindly call upon the Managing Director of Family Bank of Kenya, Ms. Nancy Njau. A big round of applause for her as she comes. Please welcome, please welcome, please welcome. Good to see you. Karibu sana. Welcome. Good. Fantastic. Up next, the Vice President of the European Investment Bank, Mr. Thomas Östros. A big round of applause for him as well. Up next, let's have the Director for Africa International Partnerships at the European Commission, Mr. Hans Christian Stauschbol. Welcome. Because we want to build on trust, we normally focus on witnesses as well. So the following please come forward. Mr. Lazarus Mwema, the Board Chairman of Family Bank of Kenya, please come forward. Mr. Edward Klesen, Head of Regional Hub for East Africa European Investment Bank, please come forward. Her Excellency Henrietta Geiger, the European Union Ambassador to Kenya, please come forward as well. A big round of applause for them. So we're ready. So the signatories, you'll kindly take your seats. The signatories. Family Bank of Kenya, the European Investment Bank, well represented. Okay. We have the documents ready. So we are ready, the signing, we're capturing that. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the milestone in development finance. Are we ready for the standing ovations? So thank you so much. Thank you so much. Okay. Final engagement. We're now looking at the Eurocham launch. Eurocham launch. We're looking at something new and promising for the European Union Kenya business community. And this is where we introduce the Eurocham Kenya, which is the new umbrella chamber of commerce for European businesses in Kenya. And it will also be a platform for Kenyan businesses to engage with European markets. Eurocham exists to do exactly what its tagline promises. And if it's possible for all of us to just repeat this particular tagline: connect markets and power growth. Let's do that. Connect markets and power growth. Let's do it together. 3, 2, 1. Connect markets and power growth. Thank you so much. Of course, for details about the mission objectives of Eurocham and how to become members, you're all encouraged to visit the booth. We have the booth there. So very quickly, do you have a video? Let's have the Eurocham video play so that we appreciate this session. But in the meantime, just to let you know, we'll have the members of the acting board of directors of Eurocham Kenya coming to the stage so that we can celebrate with them as they move forward. Okay, as we await the video, I think we'll just move on very quickly and have the members of the acting board of directors of Eurocham Kenya. So, one by one, as I welcome them, please give them a big round of applause. Ladies and gentlemen, the video. Well done. We're building bridges between continents. To create new opportunities, transparent dialogue, strategic connections, shared growth. All right. Thank you so much. A big round of applause. Eurocham, well done. So this is the moment, ladies and gentlemen. Give me sound. A big round of applause. Let's welcome President of the French Chamber of Commerce Kenya, Othman Chawi. Welcome. Please come forward. Up next, Klaus Christensen, East Africa Manager of Danish Industry. Welcome. Clinton Fernandes, Board Member of the Portuguese Business Council. Declan Galvin, Chairman of Business Island Kenya. Welcome. Yvonne Ollemans, General Manager of the Netherlands Business Hub, representing Chair Jules de la Haye. Wow. And let's also have the Acting Managing Director of Eurocham, Caroline England, and the Assistant Sophia Njeru. Please come forward. All right, so once again, I'd kindly request the European Union Commissioner for Trade, Mr. Maroš, a big round of applause for him as he comes. The Principal Secretary, Investment, Promotion, Mr. Abubakar Hassan Abubakar, Karibu Sana, the CEO of Ken Invest, Mr. John Mwendwa. We want to take that family photo. This is a family photo. Good to see you. Fantastic. Welcome. So we can still spread. You can go to the very end. Go ahead. Okay, so let's take that photo. 3, 2, and 1. All right, another beautiful round of applause. Come on. Thank you so much. Okay, thank you so much. You may kindly take your seats. Thank you so much. We celebrate you. Many thanks and many thanks indeed. Thank you so much. Many thanks. So, ladies and gentlemen, we've come to the end. Okay, quick announcement, very important. Quick announcement. This evening, 4 p.m. I'm being told there is a big cake coming up this evening. Oh, it's actually tomorrow, 4 p.m. Thank you. So, tomorrow, be ready. Tomorrow, we'll have the full launch and Europe Day celebration complete with music. You just saw a bit of it. So we'll make it even bigger tomorrow, 4 p.m. Music, cake, connections, very important. So we invite you for that. Please make sure that you have your badges, very important. We're going to take a break, but before we take that break, just please take note of this. Outside, we'll have a B2B spots. Meet with about 2, 3, 4, 5 people. Engage with them. Very important. And then immediately after this break, we'll have breakout sessions happening in parallel spaces. So we'll have Pride Hall. We'll focus on smart and sustainable trade. Loiter, that's another room. We'll be focusing on digital tools as a trade growth engine. In the meantime, let's appreciate Her Excellency, the Ambassador. Big round of applause as they exit. Thank you so much indeed. Siana will have digital solutions for export standards compliance. Please take note of that, so that immediately after the break, you go to the breakout sessions. Then in the afternoon, from 2:30 p.m., very important to take note, Pride Hall will have innovative financing and fintech. We'll have Siana, data as a value chain. Loiter, digital customs and trade facilitation. And also TALEC will have the Economic Partnership Agreement Council meeting. So immediately after this, B2B, break. Then immediately after that, we have the breakout sessions. Ladies and gentlemen, it was an honor serving you as the moderator. Let's link up during the breakout sessions. All the best. Thank you so much. Welcome to Kenya. Asanteni sana. Merci beaucoup. All the best. Let's do this together. All the best.